free agent midfielder Adrien Rabiot is on the cusp of signing for Marseille. Both the French side and Fabrizio Romano have confirmed, while the real reason why the France star will not be heading to either Manchester United or Arsenal has finally come to light. However, despite being targeted by Sir Jim Ratcliffe over a free move to Manchester United, we understand that the demands made by his mother and agent, Veronique, for a package of around £220,000 a week dissuaded them from making a move. Ratcliffe has quickly reduced United's wage bill this summer, removing several high earners from their books, including Anthony Martial and Raphael Varane, who were taking home a combined £490,000 a week. As a result, Ratcliffe was wary of adding another costly star to that weekly tab, deciding instead to sanction a deal for Manuel Ugarte, who sporting director Dan Ashworth felt was a better fit for Erik ten Hag's side anyway. And while the Premier League was still very much the player's preference, Romano has confirmed Rabiot finally is on the cusp of agreeing his next move, but to Marseille. Olympique Marseille are in advanced talks to sign Adrien Rabiot as new midfielder, as well as United. Rabiot's camp also held talks with Arsenal, though Mikel Arteta's side opted instead to move for Mikel Merino. Newcastle were also on the scene, though they were in fact rejected by the player who wanted to European football as a minimum requirement. And while he is reported by L'Équipe to have since lowered those demands, Marseille seized upon the opening to make a play to bring him to the Stade Vélodrome. Confirming a move was imminent to bring in the 29-year-old, Marseille confirmed on Sunday evening that a deal was imminent for the 48-times capped Les Bleus international. Olympique de Marseille announces that it has reached an agreement in principle with Adrien Rabiot for the arrival of the French international at the club. The player will sign with OM subject to the results of the medical examination. De Zerbi's side have started the season in fine fashion, winning 3 and drawing 1 of their opening 4 matches to sit just 2 points behind 100% PSG at the top of the table. Manchester United are looking to strengthen the wonderkid list at the club with Sunderland's Chris Rigg. This is as the link between Manchester United's academy and the first team is as strong as ever, with several special talents in the ranks currently battling to be the latest Carrington Academy graduate. Jack Fletcher, Harry Amass and Gabriel Biancheri are all currently impressing in academy football as they bid to become the next Kobbie Mainoo. Not content with the luxury of youth prospects in the ranks at Old Trafford, Ineos have placed an emphasis on recruiting talented teenagers, signing some true gems in the process. Chido Obi Martin will be arriving from Arsenal, joining Samuel Lusail, who has arrived from Crystal Palace, and also Malian wonderkid Sekou Kone from Guiders FC, who joined on deadline day. But even this is not enough, as now Sunderland's Chris Rigg is being eyed as a target. As far as midfield talents in England go, few are better than Rigg, and he is showing that this season in the Championship despite being just 17. His immense form for the Black Cats has alerted plenty of big clubs to his talent, and now speaking with journalist Graham Bailey, he has revealed to United in Focus an update on the talent's future. I actually think he will probably end up at United, that's the crux of it, and I think they are pushing hard. United are huge fans of him, they like him a lot. Basically, it will come down to the player himself when it comes time to do a deal for him. I personally expect that to be done in January. We are going to see the battle emerge in the coming weeks and months, and United are firmly in the mix. But it may not even be in England, as Dortmund likes him as well. Wherever he wants his next club to be, he will have that option. We are talking £20m, £30m for Chris Rigg. He'd be a first-team signing. This follows a firm offer being made by United prior to the summer, when Rigg actually signed a new contract, prioritizing game time for now, but he's expected to leave. After discussing the possible move and United's chances, it is added that Rigg has been seen as a Brian Robson-like talent by scouts. I think the United link is intriguing because even since he was quite young, when he was 15, it was interesting. A scout said to me that Rigg was the nearest thing to Brian Robson he had ever seen. Rigg and Robson are both from a similar part of the world, and if he joins United it could be a match made in heaven. Robson is of course an Old Trafford legend, so having even half his impact on the club could see this move considered a success, something we would be confident he can achieve considering Jason Wilcox and Dan Ashworth have an excellent eye for talent. Signing Rigg could see United avoid missing out on the hottest prospect coming through in the EFL, as happened with Jude Bellingham. This is the level Rigg is perceived to be at. United's interest in Rigg is not new, as reports in 2023 suggested that John Murtough turned down the chance to sign Rigg for £3 million. If finally signed, chances are Rigg would skip the academy, instead heading straight for Erik ten Hag's first-team squad, where he would be integrated slowly but surely, as we expect Lenny Yoro will be upon his return from injury. He'd likely sit behind both Manuel Ugarte and Kobbie Mainoo in the pecking order, but ahead of anyone else, while stifling the chances of Toby Collier. This being said, having watched Rigg a handful of times, it is unlikely United would depend on him in the Premier League just yet, as he is raw, and so the perfect outcome could be he is loaned back to Sunderland until June after a deal is agreed to sign him in January. With Rigg, United could have a future midfield sorted along with Cohn and Mainu. All three are teenagers and could be set for careers at the highest level. Ineos' policy of signing the next big thing is beginning to take shape. Now we await the fruits. Rigg would be a hell of a signing, and one which would surely be a tremendous success, and yet another statement by Ineos. Before the international week, Manchester United were struggling to find the back of the net and had just lost back-to-back Premier League games against Brighton and Liverpool. Erik Ten Hag's future was on the line, and his new recruit Joshua Zirkzee was still not firing, while the wide men were also not at the top of their game. Cut to the present, the Red Devils have won 2 on the trot, scoring 10 goals in total, with all of the wingers looking in red-hot form. However, with Rasmus Højlund still sidelined, United will need their summer signing from Bologna to start scoring. He has shown his ability to link up play, but a forward is known by the goals he scores. The Netherlands international is not your typical center forward, and that is exactly why there were talks of a move for Ivan Toney in the summer. However, a move failed to materialize, but assistant manager Ruud van Nistelrooy seems to have already suggested the perfect striker to sign in January if football transfers are to be believed. Dusan Vlahovic of Juventus has been recommended to Ineos by the former United striker, and scouts are set to monitor his progress thoroughly in the coming months. With Nistelrooy favourite to take over from the former Ajax coach should he receive his relieving orders, his recommendation holds that much more weight. The 24-year-old extraordinary striker has started the new season in sizzling fashion, netting twice and registering 1 assist in 5 games, and with only 2 years left to run on his current contract, the Red Devils are plotting to swoop. Ruud van Nistelrooy is eager for Manchester United to sign Juventus forward Dusan Vlahovic in January, Football Transfers has been informed. Following Van Nistelrooy's recommendation, Man United are planning to scout Vlahovic over the next few months and gauge his interest in a potential mid-season transfer to Old Trafford. He, Van Nistelrooy, remains a prime candidate to take over if Man United decide to sack Ten Hag at any point over the next few years. As a result, Man United are taking Van Nistelrooy's advice seriously and are strongly considering a move for Vlahovic during the January transfer window. United have been frequently linked with the Serb, ever since he moved to Turin, where he has struggled to shine on a consistent basis. He still scored 18 goals last season, more than any United forward. He is yet to hit the same heights as his Fiorentina days, but is still considered to be one of Europe's top strikers. And working under the former Old Trafford frontman could just be the key that unlocks his enormous potential. A January move will depend a lot on how United fare in the coming months. A deal will not be cheap, with the Serbian international valued at €65 million as per Transfermarkt. Juventus are likely to demand for more, considering they paid €83 million for his services, especially if the 20-time English League champions try and secure a mid-season deal.